welcome to today's episode on cybersecurity. I'm so delighted to be joined today by President of ISC2 Toronto chapter, Victoria Granova. Thank you for joining us. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me, Harsha. This is a great series, and I'm so happy that you decided to include me on it. This is very exciting for me too.
Pleasure is all mine.
Oh, I should probably say before I start that I'm representing only myself and my own opinions, and none of my employers and none of my organizations that I'm affiliated with. So I'm just speaking as myself today. So
Great.
that's my disclaimer.
Great. Before we get started, I love to hear about the straight line or curvy line that you took in your career that took you where you are, and why are you so passionate about cybersecurity?
Oh, absolutely. So I actually started out my career in business. I went into the accounting stream. I worked in an accounting firm for a number of years, but it was quite a curvy line it's good that you mentioned, super curvy. It was a bit of a interesting path. I actually was working just in accounting, in audit, external financial audit, and then I came across the launching of York University's cybersecurity program, and
Mhm.
I thought it sounded interesting. It was part time. It was mostly online, so it was very flexible, which I needed for my workload at the time. It was quite intense and had busy seasons and so forth. So I decided to give it a shot because I thought cybersecurity sounded interesting and kind of cool.
Yeah.
So when I joined, then I realized that there was so many great things that I had no idea, so many important things in cybersecurity, just
Mhm.
basic things like why we lock our computers when we walk away from our desks. Why do
Yes.
we, yeah, and why do we not use the same passwords across different platforms? All of those, great fundamental things. When I realized from the very first class, I realized that there's a lot of things that I could apply straight away to the small company that I was with, because as you might be familiar, small companies don't usually have the resources or
Yeah.
the in-house skills to develop good, strong cybersecurity knowledge or the foundation for it inside. So I realized that there's instantly things that I can apply straight away, and I and kind of went about doing that. I convinced that my management that this is a good idea. I might be only a junior accountant, but please let me train everybody in cybersecurity, and then built out IT policies and etc. from there. So gradually, my role transitioned from just pure tax and or external audit to also having a good component of cybersecurity as well. So after I worked a bit longer and I felt that I've built enough of a foundation for the team, I realized that it's time to make this into my full-time career because I was so passionate about it. I thought it was so important. I really felt that I was protecting, my team, and I wanted to do that on a full-time permanent basis as well. So that's how I came to be here. I'm at a Big Five bank now, working full-time in cybersecurity.
Great. That's indeed a curvy line. From accounting to cybersecurity. And I'm sure it's inspiration for those who are trying to move their career and are thinking of cybersecurity. It's a true inspiration. So now I can relate your connection with York University. So, because I've seen you do a lot of work with York University. So, for those who are interested in moving their career in cybersecurity, so how does their program that is certificate in cybersecurity fundamental helps?
Absolutely. So I can tell you a bit about the program in general. It's a 10-month program comprised of a fundamental certificate, and then there's also advanced certificate. So I did both of them when I first joined. But currently, I'm supporting as an assistant instructor in the fundamentals certificate portion. So the way that it works is that they follow the CISSP, the Certified Information Systems Security Professional domains. So that's a certification that you can pursue by IIC squared, and they follow the content pretty closely, but also integrate a lot of real life examples and knowledge. So it was the way that they created the program is it's much more than just delivering the content of the exams, but it's more preparing the students for the real life challenges that they might face. And I felt I mean, of course, right now I'm a little bit biased because, I work for the team. However, it did really honestly help me in my career as well. It provided me enough knowledge to apply immediately as I was learning. And then afterwards, I wrote the exam as well, of course, right after, but it did help me in the real world. So I do recommend it quite strongly.
Yeah, that's interesting because it's more of a personal like a choice, but yeah, the practical implementation you mentioned about the program that surely helps in job and in your career. That's interesting, um, and that's where you are the current president of ISC to Toronto chapter. Congratulations for that.
Thank you very much.
So for our audience, those who don't know about how chapter can benefit them in their career, and only certified members are eligible, or anyone can join this chapter.
So the IC Squared Toronto chapter is a chapter of IC Squared. We follow the IC Squared policies, and we answer to them. But we are our own little organization, and our primary purpose is to deliver educational opportunities such as events, and allow members who are certified to gain those CPE points, the continuing professional education points. However, the chapter is pretty open. Anyone can join. We exist amongst many social media platforms. So you can find us on LinkedIn, on Twitter, but of course, don't forget to put the bracket ISC brackets to Toronto chapter, and you'll be able to find us there. We also have a Slack platform now as well to encourage that portion. But also an important piece of it is networking, connecting professionals to each other, and that's where a lot of the value comes from, I believe. I think that's the most important part, is bringing these professionals together, because that helps you in your individual career, and then also exposes you to the many different areas in cybersecurity that you might be interested in. So it's great for existing members, great for people thinking about cybersecurity. It's open to everyone, and it's a free membership at this moment.
Great. And I am also a member of this chapter, and I can very well say great posting, great information being shared on Slack channel and on LinkedIn, and Victoria hosts great events that are very insightful to join, and I really appreciate the work that the chapter is putting in.
Oh, thank you so much, Harsha.
So I know you work a lot with diverse information security groups. That's interesting to know. Like, how can we connect diverse information security groups across Canada in a way to advance the industry? Because tell us more about that. What's your role and how you're doing that?
So one of the things is definitely starting conversations, making friends in different groups. I'm a big supporter of all the amazing groups that we have out there. For instance, there's Leading Cyber Ladies chapter in Toronto, fantastic group. I encourage people to join, whether you identify as a lady or not. It's open to everyone as well. There's Women in Cybersecurity. There's an Ontario affiliate of it. There's so many fantastic groups out there, and also non-diversity specific groups like DEF CON 416 is great. TOSC, also a great one. ASACA Toronto chapter is another chapter of different organization that also holds great events. So there's so many opportunities for collaboration here, and it always starts with just having a conversation and building that relationship. So and of course helping to promote each other, because ultimately we're all going towards the same goal. You want more to experience, have more cybersecurity professionals in general. We all want more diversity in cybersecurity. All the goals are very much aligned. So I'm a very big proponent of just promoting other groups as well, and enjoying collaborations, like some that we've done in the past, where we invited groups to speak at our sessions, or we just did straight collaborations, like the one we had a January event with ASACA Toronto as well.
That's interesting to know. And yeah, the goal is same. So together we are strong. We are cyber.
Nice. Yes, exactly.
So before we sign off, a bonus question. One key takeaway you would like to share with our audience to remain safe from online scam during this COVID-19 time? I know it's going crazy. Hackers are taking full advantage of the situation. So what's your key takeaway?
That's actually absolutely right. The good crisis is a great opportunity for the bad actors out there trying to take advantage and promote their scams. But of course, my advice would be just social engineering defense as per usual. So basically, be skeptical, be wary of the things that you see online or in your inbox. Don't click links from people you don't expect them from. Don't give out your personal information over the phone or over the internet unless you're absolutely sure you know who you're giving it to and for what purpose. The normal be aware message is especially true now. So please do take a pause, look before you act when it comes to these kind of scams, because there are so many going around right now.
Great tips, and I appreciate the practical advice you gave. So look, act, and report. So thank you so much, Victoria. Thank you for joining us. Those who are listening in, Victoria is a great person to follow on LinkedIn. Please follow and connect her with on LinkedIn. And if you are trying to move your career in cybersecurity, or if you are in cybersecurity, look for Toronto ISC2 chapter and see how the chapter can benefit you.
Thank you so much, Harsha. It was such a pleasure.
Yeah, thank
you.
Stay safe. Bye.
Take care.